Mr. Rick Melmer is South Dakota Secretary of Education and President-elect of the Council of Chief State School Officers. Previously, he served as school superintendents in Watertown, South Dakota, and Sioux City, Iowa. Dr. Melmer has said that his role as Secretary is to shine a spotlight on the future of education in South Dakota.
Chairman Kildee, Ranking Member Castle, members of the subcommittee, my name is Rick Melmer from the state of South Dakota. I've been serving as the Chief School Officer in South Dakota for 4 years. I'm grateful for the opportunity to come and talk to you about a topic that I know you care deeply about, and we certainly do in the state of South Dakota. I also represent the Council of Chief State School Officers, and this topic has been high on our agenda, as you can imagine, over the past year and a half. Since 2002, the No Child Left Behind Act has challenged schools, districts, and states across this country to ensure the best education possible for students. Since that time, I think you can all agree that states, schools, and districts have made significant progress, both in implementing policies and, as in Mr. Jennings' report suggests, improving achievement scores and closing achievement gaps. We're grateful for that news. We're excited to hear about it, and it's really proof that the foundation has been laid with the No Child Left Behind Act of 2002 for some good things in the future. Our hope is that we can take advantage of this opportunity now to reauthorize this act and make it even better as we look ahead 5 to 7 years down the road. The Council of Chief State School Officers has worked for the past 18 months in 3 primary areas. 1, the development of a policy statement. 2, 8 specific recommendations on how the law can be improved. And finally, specific legislative language that can be used when you're considering reauthorization. The purpose of my remarks today, though, is going to be focusing on 3 primary areas where flexibility could benefit states across this country. The first area is the promotion of innovative models and reinventing the peer review process. We've all heard about growth models. In fact, there are 7 states today that have been approved by the department to implement growth models. There are many more states out there, like South Dakota, that would like to be one of those states. At times we're challenged, especially in rural states, to have the expertise we need to build the capacity to create growth models. It would be my hope that as we look ahead to the future, that the NCLB reauthorization would include the ability to help states, all states, if they want to reach a goal of growth models or other innovative testing systems that could benefit students in their state. We spend a lot of time talking about growth models, but I hope we don't forget that there could be other ways to assess kids, especially when you're looking at 21st century skills, ways like portfolios, project-based learning, and possibly even computer simulations that would test whether the young people of today have the skills they need to be successful. The second part of my comment is reinventing the peer review process. Currently, the peer review process is based almost exclusively on compliance. And frankly, when the law was instituted in 2002, that was probably the right model to implement, because the U.S. Department of Education had an obligation to ensure that every state complied and set the right foundation. The good news is almost every state in the country has been approved under the Standards and Assessment Program. So the need for the compliance peer review is less today than it was in 2002. So we're suggesting a peer review process that's a lot more transparent and a lot more collaborative in its efforts of working with the states. You may know this, but we have no opportunity to even talk to our peer review members when they're reviewing our state standards and assessment program. The best peer review process is an interactive process where we can sit at the table and have dialogue about your concerns and issues, and the peer review members can get a better feeling from the state as to what the issues really are. The second area I wanted to emphasize is differentiated consequences. In South Dakota, we have 700-plus school districts, or 700-plus schools, and about 168 school districts. As you can imagine, some of our schools in our state do very well. We also have some that hit, for example, in our largest district of Sioux Falls, there are 3 schools in Sioux Falls that hit 17 of 18 of their academic targets under No Child Left Behind. And yet those schools are treated the same as a school that hits 0 of 18 academic targets. We lack the ability at the state level of treating individual schools differently based on their academic performance. If you don't hit 18 of 18, you're treated the same as someone that hits 0 of 18. Differentiated consequences have to be a part of reauthorization as we move into the future. And finally, teacher quality. We would all agree on the need for teacher quality and the importance of it. But in rural states like South Dakota, where you have 45 districts with less than 200 kids, high school teachers oftentimes teach many different disciplines. and oftentimes 5, 6, and even 7 preps in a day. It's difficult to recruit high school teachers in our state when we're expecting them to take tests in 3 different content areas and 5 or 6 different specific course content areas. So the Highly Qualified Teacher Act, even though I know its intentions are honorable and important, makes it increasingly difficult for us to recruit high school teachers and make sure that they are highly qualified in all of their content areas. I'm grateful for the opportunity to testify today and look forward to the question and answer period that'll follow.